Luo Feng confronted Sector Beast Morosa, who was surprised that a universe master was considered the strongest being in the universe ocean. Although Morosa mocked him, it remained cautious due to Luo Feng's reputation. After stopping its devouring of the miniature universe's origin, Morosa prepared for battle while Luo Feng activated the first 3 volumes of Duan Mie, greatly increasing his power by burning godly energy. Luo Feng summoned the machine-type weapon Bai Yan Chain and the domain-type treasure Snow World. The snowy domain spread across 10 square light years, suppressing space and time. Morosa immediately launched a soul attack, but Luo Feng's powerful will, immense energy reserves, and superior inheritances rendered the attack ineffective. Luo Feng counterattacked with the Bai Yan Chain, transforming it into a massive water-like whip empowered by his self-created technique. Bud of water and wood, the chain repeatedly struck Morosa, while grass and life energy filled the snowy domain, further suppressing the sector beast. Although Morosa's body was battered and deformed by the relentless attacks, it remained intact. Enraged, Morosa unleashed countless black threads that instantly surrounded Luo Feng, forming a black mist cocoon designed to devour his godly power. Luo Feng recognized this as the same technique that had trapped Firefly True Master. He attempted to alter his size, but the cocoon adjusted accordingly, expanding his body to 100 million kilometers tall. He forced the cocoon to consume enormous amounts of energy. Luo Feng then attacked from both inside and outside the cocoon simultaneously. The Bai Yan Chain transformed into a spear-like weapon and struck from outside, while Luo Feng used another machine-type treasure from within. Together they created a crack in the cocoon, but it quickly regenerated. Realizing the cocoon's resilience, Luo Feng concluded that greater power was needed. Morosa believed Luo Feng could not escape, but Luo Feng increased his godly power output dramatically. The cocoon's energy and Luo Feng's power rapidly consumed one another, as the cocoon weakened under the enormous burden of containing his gigantic body. Luo Feng summoned beast-like claws, tore open the black mist, and ripped the cocoon apart with brute force before stepping back into space. Luo Feng mocked Morosa and charged forward. Morosa was shaken by how easily Luo Feng escaped. Realizing that even after becoming stronger it could not overpower him, Morosa decided that it needed to devour more miniature universes before fighting again. It immediately chose to flee rather than continue the battle. Using a special technique, Morosa activated 99 engravings and split its body into 99 streams of light. Luo Feng called upon the universe chain, causing the Bai Yan Chain to divide into 10,000 massive chains. The chain spread across space like a giant umbrella and rapidly closed in. All 99 forms of Morosa suddenly found themselves trapped inside what felt like a miniature universe formed entirely from chains. After being trapped inside Luo Feng's chain universe, Sector Beast Morosa split into 99 bodies and tried to escape in different directions. However, the miniature universe formed by the Bai Yan Chain, reinforced by the Snowy World domain treasure, blocked every route. Morosa merged back into a single body and realized it could not break free. Luo Feng felt relieved because he had specifically prepared this team to counter Morosa's escape technique. Using the evolved universe chain technique through the Bai Yan Chain and the suppression of the Snowy World, he believed even powerful true gods would be unable to escape. Inside the prison, Morosa mocked Luo Feng and repeatedly charged at the chain universe's membrane. Each impact possessed terrifying power comparable to the supreme attacks of top true gods, causing the entire miniature universe to shake. Luo Feng was surprised by Morosa's natural combat abilities, realizing that although the beast had never formally studied techniques, every move it used contained profound mysteries beyond many cultivated secret arts. Confident in the double suppression of the chain universe and Snowy World, Luo Feng continued shrinking the prison while preparing the Supreme True Treasure Palace spaceship to swallow the entire chain universe and seal Morosa completely. Morosa sensed Luo Feng's plan and revealed its original form. Its appearance transformed from a golden giant into a dark, ugly creature with 2 heads, each possessing a single eye. Gathering immense dark energy, Morosa unleashed 2 beams of bloody red light from its eyes. The attack instantly shattered the chain universe, destroying the prison and forcing the Bai Yan Chain to retreat. As Morosa escaped, Luo Feng immediately used the Divine Eye secret technique. A giant divine eye appeared, releasing a terrifying willpower shock that struck Morosa directly. The attack caused intense pain, reminding Morosa of injuries it had once suffered from Bei Di in the Sector Beast nest. Enraged, Morosa counterattacked by releasing black destructive energy from its mouth. The energy struck Luo Feng and began consuming his divine power, just as it had previously destroyed Firefly True Master. However, Luo Feng's enormous divine body contained such vast reserves of godly power that the loss was negligible. Luo Feng was shocked that Morosa could still fight at full strength while enduring the Divine Eye secret technique. Since Luo Feng had already mastered the 6th volume of the technique and possessed willpower at the eternal true god level, even void space true gods would normally collapse under its effects. Morosa's resistance surpassed even that of Divine Eye True Master. Morosa was equally shocked. Although its destructive power was continuously consuming Luo Feng's divine body, the reduction was so tiny that it appeared completely unchanged. A true god like Firefly True Master would have been entirely devoured by now. Yet Luo Feng barely seemed affected. Realizing neither side could easily defeat the other, Morosa laughed and declared itself the most powerful creature in the universe ocean. Claiming Luo Feng's willpower attacks were ineffective, it refused to continue the battle. Morosa split into 99 bodies once more and fled in different directions. Knowing he could not catch them, Luo Feng watched Morosa disappear into space while silently contemplating the encounter. After Morosa escaped, Luo Feng analyzed the battle and realized the Sector Beast had grown much stronger by devouring miniature universe origins, confirming that its power would continue increasing over time. He had fought using only his golden horned beast body and without his strongest treasures. Yet he still forced Morosa to reveal its true form, suggesting it had been pushed close to its limits. However, Luo Feng remained cautious, believing the Sector Beast might still possess unknown abilities. Once his remote ocean body and Mosha body arrived with treasures such as wuxia God and Star Tower, he estimated a 90% chance of capturing Morosa. While fleeing, Morosa was shocked by Luo Feng's powerful willpower attacks, enhanced by the Divine Eye secret technique. Although it acknowledged Luo Feng as the strongest opponent it had ever faced, Morosa was relieved that Luo Feng could not kill it. The battle convinced Morosa that no one in Universe Ocean could truly threaten its life. It decided to avoid Luo Feng and other top experts in the future and focus entirely on devouring more miniature universe origins to rapidly increase its strength. In the virtual universe, over 50 true gods gathered anxiously to await the battle's outcome. When Luo Feng announced that the Sector Beast had escaped, many were alarmed, believing that if even Luo Feng could not kill it, no one could. Luo Feng then revealed two important discoveries. First, the Sector Beast grows stronger by devouring miniature universe origins and had already become significantly more powerful than before. Second, its previously seen golden giant form was only a disguise. When forced into its true black two-headed form, it could emit powerful red light from its eyes, boosting its combat power by roughly 2 levels and enabling its escape. Despite the bad news, Luo Feng explained that the Sector Beast's power was not unlimited. During the battle, Morosa had gradually exhausted its strength and showed signs of weakening before fleeing. This suggested that enough true gods, or experts with vast divine power, could wear it down through attrition. Luo Feng also reminded everyone that he had not yet used his full strength or strongest treasures, leaving hope for future battles. After Luo Feng failed to kill the Sector Beast, the true gods of Universe Ocean became increasingly anxious. They were not afraid of dying themselves but feared for the destruction of their races and loved ones. Luo Feng promised to do everything possible to eliminate the threat. News of the battle spread quickly. Although Luo Feng was recognized as the strongest being in Universe Ocean, his inability to kill a single Sector Beast alarmed everyone. Many believed their best hope was for Luo Feng to become a true god, while others realized the situation was even worse since many more Sector Beasts still remained in the nest. Back in the Milky Way Holy Land, Luo Feng stood above the 12 light-year-wide remote ocean and looked at Earth through spacetime. Watching his home planet helped ease his worries. Sitting Mountain Guest then appeared and asked why he was observing his hometown. Luo Feng admitted that he was anxious because the fate of all races depended on defeating the Sector Beasts. Yet he was uncertain he could succeed. Sitting Mountain Guest explained that the original universe had repeatedly guided Luo Feng because he was its only real hope. Sector beasts represented destruction and existed on the same level as the original universe itself. In previous eras, they typically destroyed all life and even the original universe before leaving. He told Luo Feng that his talent and fortune had given the original universe a chance to survive. Although true gods could currently handle one or two sector beasts together, the creatures would eventually devour one another, producing far stronger survivors. At that stage, only Luo Feng, after becoming a true god, would have a chance of defeating them. If he failed, all races, including Earth and humanity, would be annihilated. Sitting Mountain Guest reassured him that the current sector beast was not the strongest in the nest and that Luo Feng was still powerful enough to deal with the present threat. Luo Feng then resolved to kill Morosa the next time they met. Over the next 3 years, Morosa became much more cautious, constantly fleeing whenever powerful true gods approached. Eventually, it encountered 9 Remoteness Master. Anticipating Morosa's escape tactics, 9 Remoteness Master sealed the space and transformed into his enormous divine ocean, over 1 light year in diameter, trapping the sector beast inside. Fearing that the endless ocean would consume its power, Morosa split into 2 bodies and fled in opposite directions. Unable to determine which body to pursue, 9 Remoteness Master failed to stop it. Although Morosa escaped, it lost a tremendous amount of power while trapped in the ocean and suffered severe damage, leaving it more fearful of 9 Remoteness Master than of Luo Feng. After Luo Feng and 9 Remoteness True Master failed to kill the sector beast, Froth Flower True God remained confident that Luo Feng had not used his full strength and that his stronger Star Tower team could eventually kill it. Returning to her miniature universe, she was saddened by the death of a young boy named Wu Ni and hoped Luo Feng would save all life from the coming catastrophe. Near Universe Boat, Sitting Mountain Guest reflected on how sector beasts had ruined countless civilizations and inheritances, including his own plans. He believed Luo Feng was the only hope for both the original universe and all living beings. If Luo Feng succeeded, a new era would begin. If he failed, everything would be destroyed. 4 years later, Rampaging Devil God reported that Morosa was once again devouring the origin of his miniature universe. Luo Feng immediately responded, revealing that his spaceship team was already nearby. Morosa, having spent years recovering from its previous battles with Luo Feng and 9 Remoteness True Master, was nearly back to full strength and planned to continue growing stronger. However, Luo Feng suddenly arrived and trapped it again with Universe Chain and Snowy World. Morosa split into 99 bodies to escape, but Luo Feng successfully suppressed and weakened it once more. Meanwhile, Universe Ocean's true gods had adopted a new strategy, repeatedly attacking Morosa to drain its divine power. Although they could not trap it permanently, they slowed its destruction of miniature universes. 3 years later, Morosa returned to Rampaging Devil God's miniature universe. Rampaging Devil God immediately sent a distress signal, and Luo Feng requested its coordinates. This time, Luo Feng was aboard Star Tower with Hong and Fire Dome, and the stronger Star Tower team was finally about to face the sector beast. Luo Feng moved Star Tower to Rampaging Devil God's miniature universe, determined to prevent Morosa from escaping a third time. He believed his strongest combat power was gathered inside Star Tower and was confident in victory. Morosa was devouring a miniature universe's origin when Star Tower suddenly appeared. Shocked to see Luo Feng again, it warned him not to push too far. Morosa revealed that if cornered, it could inform other sector beasts about the universe ocean and lead some of them out of the land of darkness. Since sector beasts can sense and communicate with one another, this was a real threat. Morosa had previously kept secret the fact that devouring miniature universe origins greatly increased power because it wanted the benefits for itself. Luo Feng tried to learn more about the sector beast nest, but Morosa refused to provide details. Instead, it proposed a deal. It would swear an oath not to attack the human race or devour human miniature universes if Luo Feng stopped hunting it. It also offered Luo Feng the chance to join the sector beasts and gain their special power. Luo Feng rejected both proposals, pointing out that Morosa could not guarantee the actions of all sector beasts. After negotiations failed, Morosa became enraged and activated its escape technique, splitting into 99 bodies and fleeing in different directions. Luo Feng immediately activated Duan Mie and Shi Wu Wanes, creating a powerful suppression domain that slowed all 99 bodies. He then unleashed Star Tower's full devouring power, turning the surrounding area into a giant whirlpool. Unable to continue escaping, Morosa's 99 bodies were gradually dragged backward towards Star Tower. Luo Feng watched the 99 returning bodies and smiled. Having reached the ability to create 8th level techniques, he could now activate the 7th level of Star Tower, while the 6th level corresponded to a top-tier 8th level technique. The 7th level unleashed the far more powerful 9th level domain technique known as Whirlpool World. Although Shi Wu Wing could theoretically surpass Star Tower, Luo Feng avoided using the former master's stored energy and could not yet fully unleash its maximum power. At his current level, Whirlpool World was his strongest domain technique. As 9 different energies erupted, space was torn apart and transformed into the terrifying Whirlpool World. Morosa was shocked by Luo Feng's sudden increase in strength. All 99 of Morosa's bodies were irresistibly dragged towards Star Tower, the center of the Whirlpool World, where the 9 tower gates stirred everything into the vortex. Unable to resist, Morosa abandoned its split body form. The 99 bodies merged back into a single true body, as the weaker separated forms would be swallowed immediately. Even after merging, Morosa could only barely maintain its position without being pulled into Star Tower. Panicking, Morosa realized it could neither escape nor outrun Luo Feng, under the combined suppression of single thought void space and Whirlpool World. Its movement became extremely slow, while Luo Feng, as the creator of both domains, could move tens of thousands of times faster. Wearing black armor, Luo Feng calmly approached Morosa, who admitted it had underestimated him and acknowledged Luo Feng as the strongest being in Universe Ocean. Luo Feng mocked Morosa and challenged it to use its powerful eye-based bloody light attack again. But Morosa knew the move would be useless, even if it temporarily suppressed Luo Feng. It still could not escape. Instead, Morosa attempted negotiation, threatening that if pushed too far, it would summon a large group of sector beasts, and promised that if released, it would swear by the laws of Universe Ocean never to target humanity again. Luo Feng refused. Morosa then revealed an important secret. Only one ultimate king among the sector beasts could survive in the end. And if any one of them remained alive elsewhere, the final king could never be born. Therefore, all sector beasts could sense and communicate mentally regardless of distance. It threatened that if Luo Feng killed it, it would send a message to the entire nest, triggering a massive counterattack. Luo Feng remained unmoved, declaring that threats would not stop him, whether one or many came. He would kill as many as possible, while also noting the usefulness of this new information. Immediately afterward, Luo Feng unleashed his full power, burning divine power at maximum intensity, summoning a blurry phantom within Whirlpool World, and launching an attack. Morosa roared that Luo Feng would regret this, but Luo Feng simply smiled, activating the powerful mechanical treasure wuxia god and drawing the blood shadow blade to further amplify his strength. Combining these with his techniques, his combat power surged dramatically as he unleashed the supreme technique Golden Light Ocean. Trapped by the dual domains, Morosa could not evade as endless golden waves formed from blade light flooded the battlefield, though appearing gentle and soft. The waves continuously eroded Morosa's power, making the attack relentless and highly efficient while consuming relatively little energy from Luo Feng. Morosa screamed in pain, unable to understand why Luo Feng had become so much stronger since their previous encounter. And Luo Feng responded that dying at the hands of a great being should be considered an honor. Driven into desperation, Morosa transformed into its ugly black true form and activated its ultimate power, with bloody red light spreading across its body to greatly enhance its strength. While more than 100 long arms emerged to block Luo Feng's attacks, elevating its power to nearly Luo Feng's level and preventing direct injury. Seeing Morosa finally reveal its full strength, Luo Feng switched techniques. The golden waves vanished, leaving only the dark Whirlpool World, and a colossal golden horn appeared, radiating overwhelming power as if it could pierce the entire universe. This was Golden Horn of Beasts, another supreme 8th level technique that condensed all its power into a single devastating strike. Normally enemies could escape while Luo Feng gathered energy, but Morosa was trapped by single thought void space and Whirlpool World. Powered by 3rd level divine power burning, wuxia god, blood shadow blade, and Luo Feng's supreme technique, the giant golden horn shot forward, piercing through Morosa's defenses. tearing through its skin, and wounding the sector beast as black blood flowed into the dark whirlpool world. Luo Feng immediately used the 9th level whirlpool world to absorb Morosa's black blood, collecting it for future research on life structures in hopes of breaking through the limit of 89.999 times life genes. Though his immediate focus remained killing Morosa, the wound quickly healed, but Morosa, enraged, declared that since reaching level 3 only Bei Di had ever made it bleed. Luo Feng realized that sector beasts likely had different growth levels and suspected Bei Di was another powerful sector beast. He continued attacking with endless golden blade waves, steadily draining Morosa's power, while Morosa repeatedly tried to threaten and negotiate, warning Luo Feng not to push it further. But Luo Feng ignored him. After losing more than half its strength, Morosa became desperate, blaming Luo Feng for destroying its chance to become the future king. In extreme agony, it activated a final trump card. A dazzling multicolored light burst from its body and formed a beautiful portal. Although the portal itself was not powerful, it began competing with Luo Feng's one-thought void space for control over space. Luo Feng's absolute spatial control suppressed it, causing the portal to tremble and nearly collapse. Morosa revealed that using this technique would force it from level 3 back to level 1. But it still swore revenge. More colorful energy poured out, strengthening the portal, and while Luo Feng continuously suppressed and attacked it, Morosa finally transformed into a stream of light and escaped through the portal just before it collapsed completely. After the battle, Luo Feng was stunned that Morosa had escaped despite being completely suppressed by both Whirlpool World and One-Thought Void Space. And he suspected the colorful portal resembled a universe portal rather than teleportation or a wormhole. Reviewing the fight, Luo Feng realized Morosa had desperately avoided using the portal because the price was enormous. Its statements about dropping from level 3 to level 1 revealed that sector beast levels represented stages of growth achieved by devouring other sector beasts. And while ordinary energy could be recovered, the core strength gained through evolution could not easily be restored. The portal technique had consumed that core power, explaining Morosa's despair. Elsewhere, the escaped Morosa appeared in chaotic space, no longer confident but weak and devastated. It recalled how 1 trillion sector beasts were born at level 1 and how it had fought, struggled, and devoured countless rivals to reach level 2 and then level 3. A level shared only by elite beings such as Bei Di. Morosa had believed that by consuming enough miniature universe origins it could become the ultimate king. But after this battle it had been reduced to the state of a newborn sector beast again, turning what once seemed like a great opportunity in the universe ocean into a disastrous loss.